kitchen is one of the ways to have the most impact on your home decor. And as a certified master kitchen and bath designer, I've got some great tips for you on today's SoFlo Home Project. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. So when it comes to designing a kitchen, it's all about striking that perfect balance between style and function. Today, we go over a step-by-step process you should follow, how to maximize the layout of your kitchen, the latest design trends, and so much more. So I know a lot of you at home right now may be doing a kitchen remodel, or if not, you might be thinking about it. So I thought it'd be a good time to share with you some tips on remodeling the kitchen. When it comes to starting kitchen design, well, Kitchens 101 is to pick your appliances first. I've designed a lot of kitchens over my career, and I always tell clients the best thing to do is first figure out what type of appliances you need to suit your lifestyle and that will fit in the space. Kitchens basically are a game of numbers. Cabinets go by increments of 3 inches if you're buying semi-custom. So it's all mathematics. You got to figure out what you can fit, and you need to start with the appliances because those are the biggest functioning item in your kitchen. So when it comes to your standard appliance widths, there are a few that are pretty much a standard for basic kitchens, and that's going to be if you have a slide-in range. Those usually start at 30 inches wide. That is the standard width. Now you can go bigger. You could do 36, 48, even 60 inches wide, but those are going to be for bigger kitchens. On average, most are 30 inches wide, and if you have that microwave above the range, that's 30 inches wide as well. So that's just sort of a baseline of where you're starting with size. With refrigerators, typically they start at 30 inches wide. Now that can go from 30 inches wide to 33, 36, 42, 48, or you could have two 30-inch units that make 60 inches of refrigerators. We've got a couple of different types of refrigerators. I'm going to start with my favorite, and that is the built-in. This is what a built-in refrigerator can look like. It could also be paneled to match your cabinetry and fully integrated, meaning it's all flush with the cabinets. Now, built-ins will go at a higher price point. So for a fraction of the cost, you could do a counter depth, and that's a great option. Counter depth refrigerators basically are the depth of your kitchen counter up to where the door starts. And those are not as high as built-ins, so it allows for you to have that cabinet above the fridge. Lastly, your standard depth refrigerator, that's going to be the one that will stick out a little bit further into the room. So I always try to tell homeowners, when you're thinking about saving space in a small kitchen, try to get that counter depth. It's sometimes a little bit more in price, but for that additional few $100s, what you gain is space. So if you have a spatial issue where the kitchen's tight, think about that counter depth, because standard depth will stick out about 4, 5, even 6 inches into the room, and it's a cleaner look when you can push it back. Okay, so let's talk about microwaves. There are a few options. Behind me, this is the configuration that you would pair with the wall oven, as it is here. So I've got the microwave oven at the top, where it opens up easily, and the wall oven below. This kind of configuration is something you do when you're doing a separate cooktop, like I have here. But in smaller kitchens, you may not want to waste valuable counter space. So if you have a small kitchen and space is premium, I would suggest doing a freestanding range or a slide-in range, which is your 30-inch wide unit, and having a 30-inch wide over-the-range microwave. The last type of microwave is a microwave drawer. I absolutely love this appliance. It is a great option if you're looking for something at counter level. It is a drawer that sits under your countertop, and when you have a peninsula or an island, that's a great opportunity to tuck that microwave in so it's not in full view. It's really a great option. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we have clever solutions to maximize the space in your kitchen.
I'm Tat with FHIA, and we're going to be literally rolling out a new roofing product on today's SoFlo Home Project.
Welcome Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we're sharing tips on kitchen trends for designing or remodeling your own kitchen. And I thought small kitchens are definitely something that we get a lot of questions on. How to maximize the space and still make it look beautiful by picking the right size appliances and everything else to go with it. I want to share with you how to maximize small spaces to be efficient as well as beautiful. So I thought I'd start with the kitchen here and share with you a little backstory. So the original kitchen, before I got my hands on it, was an L shape, which ideally, if it was really a more expansive area, I could have fit a breakfast nook or something like that. But in this case, it was only 3 feet. Cabinets take up 2 feet of depth, so it felt natural to be able to continue to wrap it. It also had the raised bar, which, as we know, in time people are now lowering the bar, creating one flat level, and this has made this peninsula feel just so much more spacious. But the biggest change in this smaller space was going to the white painted door, and I actually didn't even rip the cabinets out at all. These were simply repainted. Keep in mind, color is very important when you are working in small spaces. Think about going lighter with your cabinets if the rest of the room is dark. So what I love most about small kitchens is because there's not so much to purchase when you're doing the renovation, you really can splurge on those little details that elevate your design. And I'm going to show you some of those details. But first, let's see what Tat Granata from FHIA has for us today.
With us being in so many homes, a lot of times discussing roofing projects, homeowners ask about metal and if we could look into the possibilities of carrying it. Well, over the last several years, we've researched a lot of different metal companies, and we're excited to say we're rolling out a new product and it's going over really well. We did a lot of research, we went through a lot of different manufacturers, and we love the decision we made this time in bringing a new and introducing a new product to our company to help the South Florida homeowners satisfy their roofing needs. One of the things that we saw that was going to be really important to the process to ensure the best installation was making sure we were able to do this on site and have the machines necessary so that everything could be done custom right here at the home, so it's done to the specific measurements to the home and to the roofing needs. A really important thing that we learned throughout this process is there are a lot of different metals, and when we started to see what homeowners' expectations were and some of the metals that we saw that were already installed in homes, we got a little concerned. So it took us a little bit longer to find the right products, because when we've been asked in the past about metal roofs, we've understood that the expectation by the homeowner was that they wanted to do it because they were expecting it to last a long time, like forever. So when we did the research, we started to recognize that there are certain metal roofs that will not live up to those expectations. So we wanted to identify the best ones and the best options so that we can bring those to the homeowners so that we can help them meet their expectations. So just like all other home improvement projects, it's really important to have an in-home consultation so that you can go over everything that you're trying to accomplish so you get the best product and the best installation. Back to you, Alena.
Thanks, Tat. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the little details that, again, small space, big style. So what I did here, a couple of things. I really wanted to elevate the look with hardware that was a little bit different. Since it's a smaller space, there's not a lot of square footage. You need to purchase tiles, so it's really a great way to bring in something beautiful and different. And in this case, I did something that's pretty, but I also did something that adds a little function. So I'm gonna explain. I did a mirrored backsplash. For one, the mirror reflects light, makes this whole area feel bigger than it is. This kitchen is right in the entry of the condo. You walk into it. So by having this whole mirrored backsplash, it really reflects the space and makes it feel bigger than it ever did before. And now a couple more quick tips when it comes to the sink. I happen to do a very large sink here. Sometimes in smaller kitchens, if you are renovating it, going with a large sink takes a lot of overall space you're gonna need for appliances and other things you have to fit in. So you always have to be mindful of what is the gain and what is the loss. But a couple of things I did here, you have to think about, if you have an open floor plan, where it's open to. I don't want to sit in the family room and see this large high arc faucet in view. So for me, I went with a very sleek styling. It still has the pull-out spray, so it has great function, but it blends and is more, I would say, decorative as well as functional. Coming up next, the benefits of adding a kitchen island. We're here today on the Granada Golf Course in Coral Gables, which is one of the many things located within walking distance of one of the newest luxury row of townhomes in Biltmore Square, Althea Row. Althea Row, surrounded by lush green canopies, stunning golf courses, and a wide variety of culinary experiences, including fine dining, trendsetting restaurants, upscale bars, an impressive financial district, and universities and schools. With the genuine sensibility of the city's beautiful charm and traditions, Althea Row brings a distinct modern lifestyle in the brand new Biltmore Square community. So we're here today with Frank Kissel, the co-listing agent of Althea Row, and we're taking a stroll in Coral Gables. Frank, Coral Gables is such a beautiful area to live. What are some of the things that make it so attractive for people to live in?
Well, welcome to the City Beautiful, Alena. Coral Gables strikes the perfect balance between historical charm and modern sophistication.
Absolutely.
And what we're going to see today is some of the best real estate that bridges the gap between that sophistication and that modern charm.
It fits in so well with the area, but has such a uniqueness about it that makes it stunningly beautiful. And I can't wait to check out the inside.
Well, you're going to see a property that is unlike any other property that exists in South Florida.
Well, let's go take a look.
Okay.
Frank, the inside of this place is stunning, just as stunning as the outside. The one thing I noticed is you mentioned these were townhomes, but it feels so spacious, like just a huge house. What are some of the details? How many floors?
It's 3 stories and it's all luxury. You have all the appliances and amenities that modern day homes should have. So you have Wolf Sub-Zero appliances in the kitchen, and you also have each unit here at Althea Row is generator ready. There's also a 4-car garage and an elevator.
That's amazing. And now there's this beautiful connection to indoor-outdoor living. And right on the other side, we have a beautiful outdoor space. And everything about this, from the high ceilings to just the overly spacious rooms, it really just lives like a single family home.
It does. It does. This townhome really strikes the balance between easy condominium living, and for those that don't want to live in a condominium, they may want to come into a townhome and they have the easy come and go lifestyle and very low maintenance here. There's no landscaping, there's no outdoor upkeep. It's very simple. You don't have to worry about any of that. You just lock the door and go.
So Frank, this is so beautiful, and I know there are more units in Althea Row just like it. So as the co-listing agent, if people want to know, what are the details? How do they reach you? How do they find out more about Althea Row?
Well, Alena, we do have a couple units still available for sale. They can go to our website, Alena, biltmoresquare.miami, and our sales unit right here is located on the corner of Anderson Road and Almeria Avenue. The address is 739 Almeria Avenue, and please go to our website to make an appointment.
Well, thanks so much for sharing a little bit more about Althea Row today, and of course for spending some time with us.
Thank you, Alena.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are talking about kitchen design tips. We've covered appliances, we've covered a lot of different things you should be thinking about, whether you're remodeling or just thinking about starting the process. So I wanted to address a couple of the options when it comes to laying out your kitchen, and we get a lot of questions about when do you think about adding an island or a peninsula, and maybe what height should the island be. There are a lot of options with islands. If you have a larger kitchen, sometimes having 2 islands is a great thing. I have a lot of clients who have kitchens that we're planning with 2 islands, and I love the look. You could have so much function. One can become more of a dining island. The second can become more of your functional island that might have a sink or a cooktop in it or other under-counter appliances like small refrigeration. A trend we've seen a lot is bringing down that stepped-up bar height to 1 countertop height level. This is what we call counter height. Counter height, 36 inches off the floor to the finished countertop. That's your standard kitchen height for all appliances that go under and for counter height stools. When we used to have the bar height, that would raise the counter to 42. Now, I do see some people still liking the varied height. I've seen where you're still stepping it up if you want that bar height. Sometimes that works if you have a second island, or we're also seeing it step down to dining height. So sometimes we're seeing large islands where it drops down 6 more inches and goes to a dining table height, which is 30 inches off the floor. Now, if you have a small kitchen, sometimes an island isn't the best option. As a kitchen designer, I've worked with a lot of different plans, and you want to make sure you have enough clearance around all sides of it to be able to do the everyday functions that you would do in a kitchen, and that is opening your appliances. Appliances have doors. You need clearance to be able to stand behind it, open a refrigerator, open an oven, a dishwasher. So we recommend at least 36 inches from the front of your cabinet to where the island or peninsula starts. 42 inches is even better if you have the space. So now that we've covered the basics of having enough space for an island, here are some more tips and inspiration if you're thinking of adding one. Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
This is such an incredibly styled kitchen.
Thank you.
So welcome to Soplo Home Project.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to share with our viewers some of your great tips on how you transformed this kitchen from what it was previously. So let's give a little backstory on that first.
There was a lot of wasted space, so we decided to build this great island here where we can add an extra sink and have counter seating for the kids to come and have their breakfast in the morning.
You've got contrasting wood here, but really what it's all about is what you did in the front.
Yeah, so we have cookbook shelf. It adds a little something without making it just a square block that goes down to the floor. This particular homeowner loves to cook, so
And now we can see all of
Yes.
her cookbooks and everything
she
on
can
display.
grab and go.
Absolutely. So we're gonna kind of tour the island.
Okay.
So on this side we have got recessed area for seating,
Yeah.
beautiful bar stools too, by the way. And then as we go around, more cabinets. Is this a panel or does this open? Because with
It act-
islands you never know.
It actually opens, and we had the perfect little nook to either store some paper plates that the kids can grab, or I think it's a great place to store the iPads and phones when you're eating.
Absolutely. And when you did here, to our viewers, take note of these details. No hardware on this cabinet. Now all around this kitchen, beautiful hardware details. When you want to make it look like a hidden detail like you did,
Yes.
no hardware and
Correct.
touch latch.
Yep.
Next on Soplo Home Project, we look at the latest in kitchen design trends. Welcome back to Soplo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are talking about kitchen tips and trends. And I thought this would be a good time to share a few countertop tips. If you've seen some of our past episodes recently, we've shared a lot of options for materials for countertops, from natural stone to engineered quartz to porcelain slab, everything in between. There's a lot of options when it comes to picking your countertops. But I wanted to share a few more of the trends as well. So we're seeing countertops get thinner and thicker. So the trend kind of goes both ways. If you want to build up the edge and do a very chunkier look on your island or perhaps in the whole kitchen, the thicker countertop look is definitely a very modern and beautiful look. But we are also seeing the trend towards more of the thinner edge like you see here. And with the popularity of porcelain slabs as an option for countertops, we're also seeing it used in that 12 millimeter thickness. So that's a very thin, clean, and sleek counter. Of course, the waterfall edge is beautiful on any peninsula or island, or the end of a run of cabinetry in your kitchen where you might normally just see the wood. It always looks nice to sort of finish an edge with the stone top. So when it comes to backsplash, there's two different ways that you can go, and that's going to be full height backsplash, which is what you're seeing behind me here. Full height backsplash is when you have the full continuous slab of material, whether it's natural stone, engineered quartz, or porcelain slab. And this is a very clean look. Now, perhaps you want to bring in a really cool tile. That is the other type of backsplash, whether it's any type of tile from mosaic to perhaps a subway tile or brick, or to something a little bit more different and fun in shape or color. So I love tile, so I think that's always a great way to bring some personality into your space. When I'm choosing to do a busier tile, I like to do a plainer countertop more of a solid tone and let the tile speak. And as you see here, what was done was a plainer top to really accent that full height backsplash. And so one other trend we see a lot is sort of the two-tone of cabinetry in a kitchen. It's a great way to add a little bit of a pop of either color or texture or play with the different finishes. So as you can see here, more of this textured wood on the cabinetry behind me plays well with the high gloss lacquer on the front of the peninsula. Don't be afraid to mix and match. Sometimes people mix the upper cabinets with the lower cabinets being different, or sometimes you might just be accenting the island, and that's a great place to add a different color or texture. So we hope that you guys got lots of kitchen design tips and trends for your own home remodel project. And now let's check out what design inspiration we have for you next week on SoFlo Home Project. There are so many factors to consider when selecting furniture for your home. We show you what to look for and what to avoid so you can remodel and redecorate like a pro. And now it's time to check in with Hunter Franke, the host of SoFlo Health, and see what he has going on tomorrow. Hunter, what's up?
Hey there, Alena. Tomorrow on SoFlo Health, we are at the International Swimming Hall of Fame. And you like design, right? Well, they're adding the largest and probably the coolest looking high dive stand in the Western Hemisphere. But we also get to learn a lot about health and swimming. Plus, Mr. You Can Too is going to show us how to speed walk and why it's so good for your health and that pretty much anyone can do it. And we'll teach you how. Plus, Butterfly World teaches you how to make your own butterfly garden. It requires specific plants, and we'll tell you which ones to get and to avoid if you want to have a budding garden in your backyard. Finally, Dr. Sam protects our back when we're doing work around the house. All of that and more is tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Local 10 for some more SoFlo Health. We'll see you then.
Hunter, that sounds great. We will definitely be watching, and to our viewers at home, thanks for joining us this week, and we hope to see you again next week for another episode of SoFlo Home Project right here on Local 10. And remember, there's no place like SoFlo Home. If you missed any part of this episode, or if you're looking for more design inspiration, make sure to check out all episodes online at SoFloHomeProject.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram.